Good afternoon. On behalf of Elder Ramiro Cano, Central California Conference President and Monterey Bay Academy Board Chairperson, Mr. Ken Bullington, Vice President for Central California Conference of Education, our Monterey Bay Academy Board, and all the faculty and staff here, I want to welcome you to our graduation program this afternoon. Michelle Obama said this: "You should never view your challenges as a disadvantage. Instead, it's important for you to understand that your experience facing and overcoming adversity is actually one of the biggest advantages." Class of 2020 will always have a unique place in history. Some may say and call this present reality a disappointment or a tragedy. However, this moment provides what we all know is an opportunity to celebrate the bold resilience and strength of the class of Monterey Bay Academy 2020. So I invite you just now to celebrate, rejoice, and gather with us wherever you are and cheer on these 49 amazing students. From all of us here at Monterey Bay Academy, welcome and thank you for joining us for this special occasion today.
Hello, I'm Miles Potter, and I'll be praying in English. So without further ado, let's bow our heads for prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for getting us to this point where we can graduate. And thank you for protecting all of us and keeping us safe. And I know it's been tough on us, and it has been really disappointing these last few weeks, but what's important is that we've made it through, we're graduating, and we're making it through our next step in our lives. And I just hope that everyone has done the things that they needed to do and has finished off strong. I pray for those who have lost during these tough times, and I just pray that you stretch out your hand and comfort them. I thank you for family that I have, the friends that I have, and the teachers that help us grow and learn and develop into individuals to serve you. And I just pray now that you bless all the classmates in the class of 2020, and I just thank you for giving me this opportunity to wear this robe and this hat. Thank you. Amen.
Hi, I'm Maria Zawdu, and I'm going to be praying in Amharic. እግዚአብሔር ሆይ እንቀን ስለሰጠህ እናመሰግንሃለን። ያሰብናቸው ነገሮች ሁሉ አሳካልን። በዚህ ጊዜ ሁላችንም ባለንበት ሆነን ይህን ፕሮግራም እንድንከታተል ስላደረግከን በጣም ነው የምናመሰግነው። ከዚህ በኋላ ለሚጠብቀን የህይወት ምዕራፍ አብረን እንድትሆን እንለምንሃለን። ባርከን ቀድሰን። አሜን።
Hi, my name is Rita, and I will be saying the prayer in Chinese. 亲爱的主上帝，谢谢你给我们这么好的一天，谢谢你把我们聚在这里参加毕业典礼，谢谢你让大家都能平安的聚在一起，谢谢你给我们的帮助，谢谢你给我们度过几年的快乐时光。 Amen.
Hi, my name's Hoban, and I'll be saying the Lord's Prayer in Gaelic today. Please bow your heads with me. Arna hair atarna, ganefer gadanam, gadaga de reocht, ganamter de hol on taliv. Mara nainter na, Arnarvan lehul, tordana minyu, August Mardoon arveka, Marawa mead darvekuna fame, August nalig shinin gahu, ok ser shinin ok. Amen.
Let's bow our heads and have a word of prayer. Bapa kami surga, kami datang kembali ke hadirat-Mu untuk mengucap syukur atas segala berkat lindungan yang telah Engkau berikan kepada kami ya Tuhan. Tuhan, pada hari ini kita akan menjalankan acara penamatan ya Tuhan. Kiranya Tuhan memberkati acara ini supaya berjalan dengan baik dari awal, pertengahan hingga akhirnya Tuhan. Kami juga mau berdoa buat kelas kami ya Tuhan, kelas 2020, supaya kami dapat menjadi berkat, contoh-contoh buat orang lain di sana dan menjadi garam dunia Tuhan. Berkati juga Tuhan atas kesehatan, lindungi kami ya Tuhan selama pandemi ini Tuhan, supaya kami tetap sehat dan tetap dilindungi ya Tuhan. Terima kasih Tuhan, ampuni segala dosa kami yang begitu banyak. Di dalam nama Yesus kami ucap syukur. Amin.
Hi, I'm Kate and I will be praying in Korean. 하느님 아버지, 오늘 우리 모두 여기에 모이게 하신 걸 감사드립니다. 사랑하는 가족, 학생들, 교직원을 포함한 선생님들, 그리고 오늘 축사로 영광과 지혜를 나누어 주실 모든 분들을 축복하여 주시니 감사합니다. 집에서 각자 모인 모두와 항상 같이 동행하여 주시고 우리가 졸업을 기념하는 동안에도 힘들게 병마와 싸우는 모두를 보살펴 주시는 걸 믿으며 감사합니다. 아멘.
Padre nuestro que estás en los cielos, santificado sea tu nombre. Señor, en esta tarde nos sentimos sumamente bendecidos porque hasta este momento usted ha estado con nosotros. Te damos gracias por esos 12 años que hemos cumplido. Le pedimos que nos siga guiando en esta nueva etapa que vamos a entrar. Que cada sueño y propósito de los estudiantes pueda ser guiada por usted. Que usted pueda seguir habitando en la academia de MBA y que también los líderes puedan ser bendecidos. Todo esto lo pedimos en el bendito nombre de tu Hijo amado Cristo Jesús. Amén.
Good afternoon, and we'd like to welcome you to the ceremony for the class of 2020. My name is Coach Mendoza, and this is my co-sponsor, Mr. Downing, along with Mrs. Entze. We have had the privilege of being the sponsors for the class of 2020 since last year, and today we would like to recognize our students. Today we celebrate 49 graduates with 24 young ladies and 25 young men.
In this class, there are 14 four-year students, 14 three-year students, 16 two-year students, and there are 5 students that joined the class just this year.
And we also have 12 second-generation students.
These students come to us from 9 different countries, including the United States. As
a sponsor of the class of 2020, these students hold a special place in my heart, not only because of how amazing they are, but just because this is the first class I have ever sponsored as a full-time teacher. I remember coming into our beach day, how nervous I was and wondered if this class would even like me starting out. But that's just one thing that I've learned about the class of 2020 is that they are so accepting and so loving and welcoming to whoever they meet. I wish that in my high school years that I had the opportunity to have a connection with the upperclassmen like I did, or like the class of 2020 has with the younger classmen. Not only are they welcoming to themselves, their classmates, but they're also very welcoming to the younger classmen. They mentor them, they give them great advice, and they're just overall very, very loving. And as I look out in this empty church, my heart breaks because I wish that I could have you all here and tell you just how proud I am and how much I love you, how much we love you. But regardless of us not being able to be here physically together, we have the opportunity to celebrate with you virtually. And so, as a last word for the class of 2020 from me, Coach Mendoza, I would like to tell you how incredible, amazing you are. And I can't wait for all the things that you will achieve in your lives. And I hope that you never forget how much we love you here at MBA and your home on the shore.
We are so immensely proud of you. Having watched you mature and grow through your time at MBA, it has just been a joy to see you grow in confidence. You're a class that's confident in your identity. You're not afraid to be yourselves. You're not afraid to blaze a trail. You are a class that lives courageously and fearlessly, which are the very qualities that we need in our world today. We have been so grateful to be your sponsors for these last 2 years, and we hope that you will stay in touch and you'll keep us abreast on the success that we know is inevitable in your future.
Fellow graduates, family members, and staff of Monterey Bay Academy, my name is Anthony Grossman, and I am the president of Monterey Bay Academy's class of 2020. It is an honor and a privilege to speak on behalf of the senior class. Just 3 months ago, no one would have predicted that the class of 2020 would be the first class at MBA to take a whole quarter of online classes, that we would finish our year at a boarding school, not boarding in our dormitories, but our homes located all over the world. And who would have thought that we would be the first class ever at MBA to graduate in cyberspace? Life has thrown us a curveball that no previous class has ever had to handle, and we have prevailed. I am so proud of each and every one of my classmates, and it is a pleasure for me to share in the excitement with each and every one of them located in their homes all over California, the United States, and the world, as we virtually commence our graduation and close this chapter in our life story. Parents, you are probably wondering where the years have gone as you marvel at your sons and daughters' accomplishments. It doesn't seem that long ago when we were toddling off to start kindergarten. Of course, living through those years between kindergarten and graduation seemed like an eternity for us as students, and maybe for some parents as well. But it is during those years that we formed important foundations for life. We formed friendships and developed our character. In recent years, we have learned from our teachers here at MBA as they prepared us for our next steps academically. Our deans in our dorms helped us become adults and taught us how to manage our lives. And from each of our fellow classmates, we learned important interpersonal skills and how to get along, network, and be there for our friends in good times and bad. There are many parts of MBA that we will cherish the rest of our lives. Years from now, we will reminisce being involved in the varsity sports programs, performing in West Winds and Ocean Airs on our music tours and the history and cultural tours we were involved in. We will remember working on group projects for day and all-night study sessions in the dorms. We had banquets where we met our first loves and essay activities that made us laugh until our faces hurt. But mostly, we will cherish friendships that we formed here at MBA and will have for the rest of our lives. We are the class of 2020, and we are graduating in the middle of a global pandemic. Life will never be the same again. But at the same time, it is also guaranteed to change and challenge us again. I am confident we will be prepared to meet those challenges because of the experiences we have had at MBA. This pandemic will shape our generation, and we are the ones who will bring solutions to future public health concerns. And who knows, one of our classmates might find a cure for cancer or the solution to world hunger. Our education has armed us with the skills and knowledge to handle whatever life throws at us. For some of us, college or technical schools will be our next stop, while some are headed straight to the workforce. Whatever direction we take, it is inevitable that our world will continue to change as we leave high school to follow our dreams. And whatever it is we choose to do, we will be the ones to change our world to make it a better place. While we celebrate our past academic accomplishments today, I want to challenge each and every one of my classmates to continue your journey for knowledge and to discover your own unique ways to make a positive contribution to our society. Use the enthusiasm that surrounds you today as you graduate high school and take it out into the world and use it to crush your goals. Winston Churchill said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." So let's take risks. Let's set goals, and let's not be frozen by fear or afraid to try, for fear we may fail. As we go forward, don't forget the friends you have made and those that you will make along the way. True friendship is a treasure that no one can take from you. Continue to care. Care about yourself, your family, your friends, and your world. And wherever the next chapter in your life story may take you, make sure the journey includes the joy of your friendships, the wonder of your childhood, and the love of Jesus Christ. Thank you all for the role that you played in my experience at MBA. I will cherish my memories of each and every one of you, and I look forward to seeing where each of your journeys take you. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2020.
Time has come for Dear parents, thank you for being here with us today, just like you've been with us since the beginning. Thank you for always thinking about us and putting us first. Because of you guys, we've learned how to tie our shoes, to make our beds, sometimes, and to do the right thing and how to handle life. You've shown us what it means to grow up and start new chapters in our lives. When we were little, all we wanted to do was grow up, and now that we are older, we are excited to start this new chapter in life. But we are also terrified to leave the last one behind and move on. Thanks to you guys, I'm confident that the class of 2020 will succeed in this new chapter.
You guys have taught us that by facing our problems head on and with God by our side, we will get through anything, no matter how scary it may be. So thank you again for pushing us on when we wanted to give up, for being a shoulder to cry on when we needed it, for reminding us to treasure life like it was our last, for reminding us that we won't die if we don't get what we want, for being a defender at all times, for telling us that everybody makes mistakes and that just because we may have made a bad decision, we are not a bad person, for putting on band-aids each time we fall, but most importantly, for being there to pick us up and continuing to pick us up in the future. Thank you for everything you have done and for everything you have taught us. Love, the class of 2020.
18 years, it's been our goal. Survive senior year and get into the world. Counting down the days, now we're wishing for more. Funny how perspective will change how you view the world. Like friends who would annoy me, I miss them in my room. Midnight's the day before dead was due. Now no more time with my peers, for the class without some experiences, like a trip or half a year. When it's over, we'll look back at what we missed. While the future's not much better, we'll make the most of it. How I wish I could just go back there. 5 hours between us, only a text away. But while we're working on ourselves, we tend to push our friends away. Now more than ever, we need each other close. But how can we stay connected when we can't leave our homes? Soon communication slows. Now no more time with my peers, for the class without some experiences, like a trip or half a year. When it's over, we'll look back at what we missed. And while the future's not much better, we'll make the most of it. How I wish I could just go back there. How I wish I could just go back today.
My last 4 years here at MBA, I've had the privilege of getting to know this multi-talented man. He is an incredible mentor and a friend. It is my privilege and an honor to introduce to you Pastor Daniel E. Gregory.
Good afternoon to our family and friends, especially on the Pacific Coast. If you're part of our family and friends watching from Hawaii, good morning. I think it's about 10 a.m. or so there. But to our family and friends in the Nevada area, 2 o'clock about, well, afternoon, in the past 2 o'clock. To our family and friends on the East Coast, I'm thinking of Michigan and Florida, and family and friends who might be watching from Colombia, way down in South America. It's about a little after 4 p.m. And for our family and friends who are in Brazil, late afternoon, a little after 5 p.m. To our family and friends in South Africa, you are up late, a little past 11. Thank you for joining us. To our family and friends in Ethiopia and the Middle East, it's after midnight. It's Monday morning, actually, the early Monday morning. Thank you for joining us. To our family and friends in Vietnam, It's a little after 4 a.m. there, so again, thank you for getting up early to participate in this virtual online graduation. To our family and friends in the Philippines and in China, it's a little after 5 a.m. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And to our family and friends in South Korea and Japan, a very good early Monday morning, a little after 6 a.m. One of the coolest things about MBA, our home on the shore, this great school, is just that. We're not just a family, but we are an international community. I love that in my classroom, that I can have somebody from Afghanistan, and I can have somebody from Eastern Europe, and I can have somebody from Africa, and I can have somebody from all over Asia, North America, South America. The flags behind that you see, representing the various countries that this family calls home. The class of 2020. We welcome you all, to the few who are here and those who are watching online. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. I'm honored to be asked to speak, and I'm not really sure why. The only thing I can think of is that in senior religion, we spend so much of the first time of the first semester figuring out who we are together, connecting our stories together, understanding who we are as we take various tests, and all I can think of is it's my job to tell their story. You may know your son or daughter, your grandson, your granddaughter, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, but you may not know the rest of them, and it falls to me to tell their story. The class of 2020. 2020. We use that to represent perfect vision, don't we? It means that you're not nearsighted or not farsighted. If we say someone has 2020, it means they see things exactly as they are. Things that are far, look far. Things that are near, look near. Let's think a minute about this class. This class was born in the world turmoil of 9/11. And this class is graduating in the world turmoil of COVID-19. Their lives have been bookended by worldwide disasters. What is it they see? What vision do they imagine? I hope that we can understand their legacy. I hope that we can understand who they are at this point, and we can encourage them to grow to beyond this, to make the world a better place by themselves becoming better people. So, let me tell you a little bit about this class that your son, your daughter belongs to, your nephew, your niece. You see, this class, I use the word belonging because this is a belonging class. This is a belonging class. In the Myers-Briggs temperament, this is a NF class, as we'll look at what that means in a bit. But first, class of 2020. Who are they? Here's a picture of what they look like now. I'm sure some of you are remembering what they looked like when they were little. You remember their first steps. You remember the first time they fell down and skinned their knee, maybe a broken bone, the first heartache, the first love lost, the first crush they had. And you're thinking of those milestones now, those markers. And here we are at this one. Who are they? Well, let me tell you a little bit about them as we've grown to learn. I want to just use this first one as a simple one, but it'll help us understand. In some analysis, we use the terms left brain and right brain. It's an outdated mode. We know that people use the whole brain. They don't just use right brain or left brain, but we often think of dominant hemispheres of the brain. And again, for those of you who are getting keyed up to write me and say, well, that's not how it works now that we understand. I get that. We're just using it as one way to understand people. And it's often grouped that right brain is the more creative, the music, the art, and the left brain is more the science, the deductive method, logical order, inference, deductive. And this class, 60% left brain. That may not seem like a big deal, but it's actually really low. People tend to be over and above high left brain dominant. But this class is 40% right brain. What that means is this class is intuitive, and this class is creative, and this class sees things holistically. If you're wondering why sometimes your child doesn't seem to get the linear progression, the cause and effects, is because that's not how the world they live in works. They see things differently. They make intuitive judgments. NF is an intuitive feeler. You might ask them, well, why did you do that? And they would say, well, because it seemed right. It felt right. I just knew it was the right thing. Or that's just what I knew. They might not be able to tell you how they got to that answer, but they can sure tell you that they have their answer that tells them in their gut that this is right. That's right brain. And 40% of them are that way. The next is Greek temperament. Thousands of years using this. The Greeks had a way of dividing people to understand them into groups of four: phlegmatic, sanguine, melancholy, and choleric. And I'll not belabor the point of what those mean, but you'll look at the two dominant ones are sanguine at 32% and phlegmatic at 28%. What that means essentially is that these, by and large, are happy, go lucky. They like things peaceful and relaxed, and they like things fun. And if they can have a peaceful, fun time or a fun, peaceful time, all the better. If you're thinking of an aquatic animal, you think dolphin or sea otter. If you're thinking of a land animal, as a metaphor to help you understand, you think orangutan, chimpanzee, Labrador. 5 love languages is another way to understand people. And it differentiates as to how people give love and how people like to receive love. And this class, you will notice, this class, huge, 50%, half of them, quality time. You want to tell your son, your daughter that they're loved? You want to see them with 20/20 vision yourself? You want to understand how they see the world? Hang out with them. Just hang out. Do something that involves just being together. Chilling on the couch. Playing family games. It's not about the games. It's just about the being together. Another large percentage is physical touch. And if you put these two together, that's more than 3/4 of this class. Physical touch is the high five, the hug, the squeeze, the handshake, the back rub, the pat on the back, the slap on the back. It's the wrestling, it's the physical connection. That's how this class experiences love and gives love. You don't know what your child is? You're not sure? Ask them. Start a conversation. Learn who this amazing class of 2020 is. See them for who they are. Understand them with 2020 vision as they move beyond where they are now to greater horizons. There's words of affirmation about 12%, acts of service about 10%, and gifts about 2%. So I guess you can save some money on those graduation gifts. All right. Last one I want to do is a little more complicated, and because of that, it's often much more precise. Myers-Briggs temperament, MBTI often, takes the Greek temperament notion of 4 quadrants of people and then subdivides that into 4 more. So you end up with 16 characteristics of way of looking at people, and people will fall into various camps. And what I've put up here is a polar graph of, in the blue, that's the national or international of developed countries. So if you're Europe or North and South America primarily, or Australia or China, Japan, that's where temperaments kind of fall. That's the normal pattern of how an entire society would look. And in the red, that's these guys. That's the class of 2020. You can see they're very strong in the NF. Now, you may not know what that is. I put the graph so you can see, wow, they really aren't in the ST quadrant. No, not really. They're not too much in the NT quadrant. No, not really. They're somewhat in the SF. There's a couple of strong things in there. But man, in the NF, that's this class. And let me explain what that means. A couple of short illustrations. NT people, those are the people we manage a situation. NF people, we entertain the situation. So if something's, a project needs to be done, the NT people are there to design it and to organize it. And the NF people are there to make sure everybody has a good time while doing it. They entertain. Are you feeling down? They'll tell a joke. Having a bad day? They'll come alongside. Smile with you. Try to get you to laugh. See the bright side, the silver lining. The ST people, we are the situation. Usually they're the people that we're all working about or for. They're the people who are the reason we have the situation. Not too many in this class. And the SF, well, we nurture this situation. In other words, if the party's going well, let's help it go weller, better. If everybody's having fun, let's have more fun. If everybody's having a kind of quiet, introspective moment, let's encourage that. We nurture the situation. I put some pictures there to kind of illustrate some animal ones that are often used. And you'll notice that this class, the NF and the SF, those are the Labrador, the orangutan, the dolphin. And I put the picture of the eagle, or the owl, sorry, to illustrate something. It's an INTP, and I want to put that graph up with the pictures and show you something. You see the ENFP and the ENFJ, that's a large chunk of this class. And there's also a large chunk of ESFP. But there is 0 INTP. You notice how the red does not go in the INTP section at all. And that, my friends, is who I am. That's right. In this class, there is nobody that I could resonate with. And that's why sometimes they didn't understand me and I didn't understand them. Love them to death, and I'm sure at times they tolerated me. But that was me trying to manage these guys. They're good people. But maybe you're like that. Maybe you're an INTP, or maybe you're something else in the ST area, and you're like, I don't understand this child. How to see them with 20/20 vision? Understand they're not you. They weren't made to be you. God needs all kinds. And these children who are graduating today and moving on to tomorrow, they are God's gift to us to make the world a better place. So, a little more informal look at who are they. Quick picture here at Senior Survival. Joey and Ella looking to help people up. Just want to point out, I love Ella's colorful nails there. I don't know if you can see it too much on the picture there. Different colors, shades, blue, pretty cool. And we have another picture, doing teamwork, leading together. You'll see Malachi leading the group. Now, if you're not sure what's happening, I have another one that's a side picture of a different group. What they're trying to do is to learn to walk all together. I like how Garren's actually just on one side. Everybody else is like, hey, and Garren's like, I'm just on this side. I like how this picture, if you see Isaac, it looks like, I don't really know what's going on. I wasn't there for this picture. But it looks like Isaac is trying to explain, wait, what? I think all of them are surrounding him saying, yeah, you're the smallest one, so we're going to pick you up and stick you through this web. That's the kind of thing you're looking through. That was one of the group building activities. And I think Isaac's like, wait, why am I going through there? Me? That's what it looks like to me. He's trying to understand why they're all looking at him and saying, yeah, you're the one going through. This is a class that also likes to have fun, but some have fun in a very set way. As you look at the picture of Garren coming up, he's going to do the slip and slide, but it cracks me up because it looks like, the log jammer ride. He's just, anyway. Then you see the picture of Tristan. And Tristan is barreling down, full up, standing. He's going to ride this thing. He's going to take it all the way down. Who are they? Class of 2020. This is a class that likes to have fun. I like Robert's Saturday Night Live dance impression. Either that or he's watching a balloon go away. I really don't know. You look at Haley here, and she's like, I'm really not sure. It looks like she's having a good time, either that or she's about to fall asleep. I'm not sure. You look at Hayden, and Hayden's got his best friend with him, the football, his date that's never turned him down. Maybe that's why he kept taking it to the banquets. I don't know. This is a class that smiles and eats well. Look at that smile on Peter. That is an amazing smile. And Damon looks pretty happy with whatever that shake thingy is that he's eating. And Miles about to dig into some pancakes. It's not just the boys that smile, it's the girls. Look at Rachel. Nice, ease, comfortable. Look at Jerica. Shout out to Jerica, by the way. I don't know if you can see close up, but on her screen, this is distance learning, on her screen is the Religion 4 class, my class. Yay! Shout out. You go, girl. Speaking of distance learning, this is a class that has had to do something no other generation has. I'm pretty sure it's now in the future for a lot of classes. If you think about it, from kindergarten up, has had to experience what it was like to learn from a distance. And I'm pretty sure most of our community from here on out will have to do something like that. Businesses have been doing it for years. Justin's making the best of it. Ari's there with a smile, which really is amazing because a lot of times Ari, especially if you're watching right now, I know a couple times we had conversations in the middle of the night, well, early morning for you. And I was just amazed that you'd be up. You see Omar with his gaming gear. Some people seem to adapt. Some people, it kind of took off a little bit of their edge and they were struggling. You see a picture of Rochelle with the little kind of crying things, I guess. I don't know what those, I'm assuming those are supposed to be like tears of fire or something. I don't really know. You see that it became so overwhelming that Aubrey had to lay down. And Matthew Park, well, I think he was just frazzled by the end. He'd had it. He was done. Some people seem to take it with ease or aplomb, as you'll see. Doesn't she look right at home? And by the way, if you get a chance, on my website, link to their class web project. She has a music video. Man, it's awesome. You need to check it out. This is also an introspective class. I don't actually know what Terry is thinking of, but Terry is an amazing artist. And his reflection on things in life has been really cool since English 2, that I got to know him. Amazing visual ability to see things. Tracy, I think, is trying to figure out how to put her foot in the water, or she should, because the water seems to be maybe cold. And actually, to be honest, I'm not really sure what Kate is doing here. I'm going to hope that she's trying to light a fire, because I'm not really sure what else she's trying to do. But this isn't just a class of people who enjoy fun or smile. This is a good-looking class. Take a look at these next two pictures, and if I was Jaylene's dad, I'd be making sure I had the shotgun ready. Whew. As a dad myself, daughter's approaching 30. Be careful, dads. They're growing up. Look at this young man. Look at Justin, man. Is that a handsome picture or what? Look at these guys. They clean up well. Who are they? That's only one way to see them. I've tried to get and portray a brief picture. Hopefully you got some insight. But hopefully also it might start a conversation. Ask them. So tell me more about some of those classmates. Tell me more about the Myers-Briggs. Tell me more about the 5 love languages. Have a conversation. See them, the class of 2020, with a clearer vision. And now, for a few words, because that's probably all it will be. For the most part, I'm pretty sure none of you will remember. At least, maybe for an hour, but by tomorrow, tonight, it'll be gone. But I have one last time. One last time. One last time. One last time for me to give you this message. One last time for you to see those words from my classroom. Every day we would see that. Every day, I hope it made an impression. And what I want you to get in the last few minutes that I don't think you're going to remember later, and I don't think even if you do, you'll probably forget by tomorrow. But you can always watch the video, rewind it, play it again. These three things I want you to get as you move from here, class of 2020, with your vision. The distance is not the same for everyone. The origins are similar. The destination is the same. But the amount of travel to get from point A to point B is different for each of us. Have some compassion with those you meet whose journey is far more difficult than yours. And for those whose journey is far more difficult than the ones around, celebrate with them. And third, moving from law to grace is truth. These two things, law and grace, must be kept together. For truth is only to be had in them both. So, to illustrate, distance is not the same for everyone. Sometimes people have a short, straight shot. Sometimes their path is very windy, if that's even a word. Some of you have had great struggles to overcome, and some of you, it's been easier in some areas. The distance is not the same for everyone. If you were to fly if you were to fly straight from Sinai to Golgotha, it's only about 235 miles or 380 kilometers. If you were to walk, take a bike or a car, driving from Sinai to Golgotha is about 316 miles or 509 kilometers. The distance is not the same for everyone. The way the Bible says it is this way. Each man's path is unique. Or, Paul might write, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Or Jesus will say to Peter, his life pattern in John chapter 21, his life pattern is none of your concerns. Only need for you to follow me. Everybody's journey is different. Understand that. Your own and the people you meet. Next, origins are similar and destination is the same. All of us start apart from glory. The Bible says it this way. All have sinned and come short of the glory of God. There is none righteous, no, not one. Look, what that means is that everybody makes mistakes, and that keeps them from being and becoming the best version of themselves they could be. Your parents, your grandparents, you, your neighbors, I'm sure all of you can think of some words you wish you could take back in some part of your life. Some action you'd like a do-over. Even if it shaped who you are, you're like, I still cringe when I think of that. The way I might have hurt somebody, or the way I missed an opportunity, or the way I let something go by. Or when I didn't say something, or when I did say something. And these regrets we learn to look at and we learn to live with. And hopefully to get better vision, we look back at them. In fact, we usually say hindsight is 20/20. And what I'm asking you to do, to help you to do, is to learn to create in your mind a way to see the world so that your foresight, your vision going forward is 20/20. All have sinned. That means approach everybody with a sense of grace and patience. And yourself. Some are very hard on themselves. All have sinned. All of us have made mistakes that have kept us from being the best version of ourselves. And that really is the point of the gospel, that you need to be the best version of yourself. For to make the world a better place, you need to be a better person. Gandhi would say, be the change you want to see in the world. Christ would say, keep your eyes on me, and by beholding me, you will become changed, and the world will be better for it. Our destinations are the same. Christ would say, I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. And what I love about that passage is several things. God is thinking of you individually. Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, cousin, student, class of 2020. Each of you is individual. Each of you, God has a place, something designed specifically, specially for you. You have your own story. And the greatest reward he can give you is just to be with him. For as you go on your journey, you're going to find people who will, if you haven't already, laugh at you, make fun of you, challenge you, check you, get in your way. And what I want to encourage you is to walk this journey from Sinai to Golgotha, from here on, with a person, a partner, who will never laugh at you, who will never scoff at your dreams, who will follow along. If you choose to follow Jesus, if you choose to make him your life partner, God will never leave you. God will never disappoint you. God is the only being, in fact, who will never leave you nor forsake you. He will never make fun of you, and he will never scoff at your dreams. He will help you to see the world with a perfect vision, to look at the people around you with eyes of grace and humility. Last but not least, I want to remind you that moving from law to incorporate grace, that's what truth is. Works without faith is legalism. Faith without works is dead. This isn't a battle. So many times we get caught in this dichotomy and we think it has to be law or grace. But it isn't law or grace. It's not a battle between nature and nurture, or faith and works, or anarchy and military rule. Life is about finding the balance of art and science, the right brain and the left brain, that seeks goodness, truth, and beauty. And as I can see it, there is one who is called good. There is one whose name is truth, and there is one who is altogether lovely. And by seeking Jesus, you will learn to see that they go together, that truth is both left and right, nature and nurture, law and grace, self-discipline and compassion for those who fall short. So, Jesus would say, "For the law was given by Moses," in the words of John, "but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ." Jesus would say, in the words of Paul, "In times of ignorance God winks at, but now calls all to repentance." And Jesus would say, in the words of John and James, "Righteousness is right doing, so practice righteousness." Leave from here, class of 2020, with a vision to making the world a better place, with an eye to the future regarding the past, as you move from Sinai to Golgotha, to become the better person, to make the world a better place. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for those who trusted us with your children, the ones precious to you. We hope to have done right by you. We thank you for your time, your energy, your resources. Thank you from Monterey Bay Academy, class of 2020. You are amazing. Now go change the world.
Parents, family members, friends, MBA family, and class of 2020. You are the 71st graduating class from Monterey Bay Academy. You've worked hard, you've persevered when the going was rough, you've run to classes as the bell was ringing, you've studied late at night, studied early in the morning, flown into a test hoping to make it through. You've now been on countless Google Meets, Zoom calls, or WeChat calls, and you've survived distance learning. And now you are here. It is time for our awards presentation, and at this time I would like to invite Principal Jeff Deming and our Alumni Director, Kinzie Speyer, to the podium to present some recognitions.
Thank you, Mrs. Entze. Well, we are so proud of the class of 2020 and all our students here at Monterey Bay Academy, but we couldn't do it and do it well with the support staff that surrounds them every single day. Every department, every classroom, every agency on behalf of these students works together to provide a powerful and a strong program here at MBA. And we continue to stand on the shoulders of those who have come before us in this strong tradition of 71 years. And so we thank every one of those people who have served and those who continue to serve here. As you may know or have heard, that we'll have some changes next year, and it won't be easy as we say goodbye to colleagues who we know that God has plans for them, but will take them in new directions and new places. And so we ask that you pray for them as we are, as they continue on into exciting places that God has designed for each one of them. And to let you know that we'll continue to persevere and to move forward here at MBA, allowing us the opportunity each day to welcome, greet, and love the students that God has brought to us. And so we're so proud. I want to just thank all the MBA faculty and staff for the service, for the time, for the investment, and most importantly for the care that they provide to each one of your kids each and every day. Thank you.
Monterey Bay Academy Alumni Association has recognized a Staff Member of the Year since 1994. The 26 people selected since then were recognized for their service, their dedication to the students and to their fellow colleagues, and for demonstrating a commitment to Monterey Bay Academy and for communicating the unconditional love of Jesus Christ to others. Normally, during the last couple weeks of the school year, the students cast their vote for a staff member who they would like to see receive this recognition based on the criteria I just mentioned above. But this year, we found ourselves in a very different situation. There were no students on campus. That process was unable to take place. My first thought was, there's no way we can give out this award. But then as I thought about the significance of this recognition, I realized that it is so much more than the surprise that comes from reading the name of the individual chosen, or even the $500 that is given as a gift. The true significance of this award is recognizing the impact that staff member has made, the value that they have shown their students, their dedication to MBA, and their desire to communicate the love of Jesus. That's what truly matters. That's why we give this award. So today, rather than selecting one staff member to honor, the Alumni Association would like to publicly recognize every MBA administrator, every teacher, and every support staff for your countless hours of service, your steadfast commitment, and your undying dedication to the students of Monterey Bay Academy. The last 2 months have been challenging to say the least, but even during these uncertain and unsteady times, each and every administrator, each teacher, and each staff member have remained certain and steadfast in their dedication and commitment to their students and to MBA. There are no words that can adequately express how grateful the Alumni Association is for what you do to make MBA great. You are what makes our home on the shore a wonderful and blessed place to receive a Christian education. So this year, the plaque that hangs in the alumni office will read, "In recognition of all Monterey Bay Academy staff for their dedication and service. Thank you from the depths of our heart."
Thank you for that. This year, we have 18 international students that come to us from 8 different countries. That is a significant impact on this particular class. We have students from Brazil, China, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Korea, Mexico, South Africa, and Vietnam. They enrich not only our school, but have had a large impact on the class of 2020. Thank you each for coming to MBA and expanding our cultural experiences and perspectives. Each year, colleges award scholarship